Hello and welcome to Cynic Critique, the podcast where we explore the world of films, fiction and entertainment in general. I'm your host Brian and I'm here with my brother and co-host, a broist if you will, Thomas.
Hello.
We're here to share our passion for movies, TV shows, comic books, video games with you. In this episode we're going to be talking about our top 10 films, although we might just keep that to the first half of the top 10 for now, to keep a short, sweet introduction to both us and our podcast. So, top 10 films of 2023. There's been a lot of good films this year, I feel. I don't know about you.
I'd say more mediocre, really. I don't think there've been that many great films this year.
Right. I think there's been a good number of good films. I just think they've been a little maybe harder to find, but I like the fact they seem to be a little more mid-budget now and they're not the massive, like, multi-$100 million budgets.
Yeah.
Well, that's the trend I feel they're trying to go with now, which I think is probably better for the industry and films in general.
Yeah.
I'll let you kick off the top 10 anyway.
All right. My number 10 is Creed 3.
Okay.
I spent the last 7 years of my life living out my wildest dreams. Bianca, Rocky, my dad. This was built on their shoulders.
Directed by Michael B. Jordan, also starring Michael B. Jordan, and written by Ryan and Keenan Coogler and Zach Baylin, I believe. Obviously, it's the third in the boxing drama of Creed, but like the, ninth in the Rocky
ninth in the Rocky franchise, yeah.
That's a long-lasting...
Yeah, the first one is late 70s? 78, 79?
Earlier than that, I think.
It's also Jordan's directing debut, no?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
I just googled it, the first Rocky was 76.
Yeah, I think Rambo, First Blood is...
There's been some longevity to the franchise for sure.
Oh, definitely. That's like nearly 50 years of Rocky movies.
It's headed that way, yeah. It will be soon.
I think it's proven a long-lasting franchise, and I think they're all great.
Yeah, some as great as others.
No, but overall, I do think they are
and
good
the fact
films.
they can just move away with another character, I think, is pretty cool as well.
Exactly. Like I say, this is the third Creed movie, and I still think they're going strong, so...
Yeah.
I'd say it's only 10th in my list, but...
That's 10.
Yeah, what's your number 10?
My 10 is a little film, and by little film, I mean it had like $15,000 budget. It's The Outwaters.
911, what are you reporting? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Ma'am?
I don't know.
Which may for some be a 2022 film, but I believe it was only April this year for the UK. And that's writer, actor, director Robbie Banfinch. He plays the character Robbie. Then we've got, I'm assuming they're his friends, Angela Basilis, I believe it's pronounced, playing Ange, Scott Shamel playing the brother character of Scott, and Michelle May playing Michelle. So they've been really, really creative with names there, which is something I like to see. It was quite experimental, a little similar to Skinamarink. Although it's maybe an hour 45, an hour 50, I can't remember now. The first half is pretty much nothing. If you don't like Blair Witch, you will hate the first half of this because there's not much character set up at all, which is a shame. And I don't feel it sets up the second half of the plot particularly well either. But once that second half kicks off, I find it really engaging. It's different and it's pretty wild and it's pretty cosmic horror and a little Lovecraftian as well to an extent, which are things I just like to see. Like I said, it's just different in general and that's cool. And it did find some online success with fans, but it is a little, divisive, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So. I really liked the second half of that one, but it didn't really do much for me, that one.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, I preferred it a lot more than Skinamarink.
Definitely. Skinamarink was just noise.
There's probably people out there that like both. There's probably people out there like me, you like one or the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're worth checking out if you look for something different in your horror diet anyway.
Yeah, divisive movies are usually worth a watch, really.
I'd rather watch one and not like it and go like, at least they're trying to be different than watching things like, oh, they hit all the right beats that I've seen played out before and, it's almost like colour by numbers type situation going on.
Yeah.
I guess it's your number 9.
Number 9 is another number, 65.
There's something alien out there.
Location unknown.
Charter 373. This is Commander Mills. My ship was hit by an undocumented asteroid.
The sci-fi movie starring Adam Driver and written and directed by Scott Beck and Brian Woods, who wrote A Quiet Place. And this is a directorial debut, and for a directorial debut, I think it's
pretty fantastic for a directorial debut, I would say.
Yeah, effects were, I think,
Yeah,
solid. I don't think the movie misses a beat, really. I think it was really Adam Driver is definitely the driving force behind the whole movie.
Yeah, yeah, he is. I forgot
Let's see.
the girl is in it now. I think she's somebody that looks six.
Ariana Greenblatt, I think her name is. Well, it is her name, but I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, Greenblatt. But,
She was the young Gamora.
she's the young Gamora and the young Ahsoka.
Ahsoka, yeah.
And I think she was in Barbie. So she's had
Yes.
quite a...
Yeah, she's got a good career. I think she plays America Ferrera, Ugly Betty actress.
Yeah,
I think she plays her daughter in the Barbie film.
I wouldn't know
Yeah.
much Barbie.
Well, I did. I'll watch anything. And I enjoyed Barbie. It's a good film, don't knock it. Is that all you're going to say about 65, or you want else?
Well, it's just one of those sci-fi movies that I don't feel you get
Yeah.
too often anymore. It was a very good survival action. Just got a bit of everything in it, really. I thought it was great.
Yeah, it's nothing over complex. It's nice and simple, keeps it short and sweet as well, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just well made, and because it's well made, it's easy to enjoy.
Yeah.
It's one of them you could put on a Saturday afternoon or a morning, just
Yeah.
any time of day. If
Yeah.
you've not seen it, you could just
Exactly.
probably pop it on and just enjoy it for however long it is.
Yeah.
Again, it's one of them mid-budget movies that I
Yeah.
spoke about not so long ago, where it's like, okay, budget's not high, but they
Yeah.
make it go a long way and they do what they need to do, and that's, I would say, doing more with less for a budget shows real creativity, and I think that's really something in the film industry right now that's kind of lacking.
Yeah.
The creativity.
Yeah, exactly. That's what made it in my list, really.
It's an honourable mention for me, I'm afraid. Like, I liked it
Yeah.
a lot.
I thought it might be.
I'll be honest, I just really wanted to put the Outwaters in my top 10 because I feel it needs some high
Oh,
praise. And
That is a good one.
just maybe people checking it out.
Yeah.
My number 9 is Air, directed by Ben Affleck.
I have that further.
Yeah. Oh, you've gone further up.
Yeah, I have that further up
Okay.
in my list.
Okay, we'll come back to that when you get there then. So I guess we're at your number 8.
My number 8 is Insidious, The Red Door.
My brain just been foggy past few years. All I ever wanted was to be a good dad. Dalton. Mom. Renee.
Oh.
Is Patrick Wilson's directorial debut. And also starring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems to be something you like in a film this year.
Yeah, if they're right, it's a directorial debut. I'm there for it.
Yeah, and especially if they're starring in it.
Oh yes.
So why wasn't the Outwaters in your top 10?
Why wasn't the Outwaters in my tops?
Yeah.
It was good, but I didn't enjoy the whole film.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think it would have been an honourable mention probably.
Right.
But no, I have another. Insidious is part of a big franchise.
Yeah.
Again, and improving again its longevity.
Yeah. Must be about 10 years old now. Or thereabouts.
Franchise, you mean, not the movie?
Yeah. Franchise.
Yeah. I thought it was a great one. Did horror really well. Acted really well.
Yeah, I remember a particular scare moment that almost got me. Almost.
If it's the one I'm thinking of, yeah.
I want to say it was in an art class, but I can't truly remember. But I did like it.
I think there were 3 pretty good build-up tension scenes in that one.
Yeah,
Maybe even 4 if I'm thinking of another one.
I won't spoil them anyway because
No.
it's not fair if you've not seen it.
I'm going to say you can't spoil that.
I would say The Insidious is a decent horror franchise overall. It's a lot stronger than some.
It is a strong one. I think it is probably like my favourite horror franchise, but I can't say that for certain. It's definitely up there.
Yeah.
But the Red Door, I think, has been the best one since the first one. That proves again that it's not dead yet, I don't think.
Yeah, but I think there's been enough time away from it for a little while to allow it to
Yeah.
invent itself.
Yeah.
It
And-
tried with, would it be 3 and 4?
Yeah. But now it's come back to like the original
Yeah.
characters, so I think that's why it's probably stronger as well.
Yeah, good watch. I don't have note of he was the kid from the first one.
Clyde Simpkins.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
like to see him do more.
Yeah, definitely. He thought he did a really
Yeah.
good performance in this one. He's like the main character in it as well.
Yeah,
so,
he takes centre stage this
Yeah.
time, doesn't he?
yeah. So, moving on to your number 8.
My number 8 is, I believe it's pronounced Sisu.
Another one like this, is it?
So it's higher up for you.
Yeah, it's further up. I'll let you.
Okay, I'll have to circle back to that then as
We'll
well.
discuss that soon.
I guess we'll just jump to your number 7 then, yes?
Yeah. My number 7 is Hypnotic.
I have to know everything. Why me? Why my daughter?
You don't know who you're dealing with.
Okay.
Robert Rodriguez returning into cinema, writing and directing. He had a co-writer on this one, Max Borenstein,
Okay.
and it stars Ben Affleck. I thought it was another good mid-budget action thriller, this one.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people probably thought it was a bit mediocre, but to me, I thought it's like one of those.
Silly. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of is that, but it's kind of I just really enjoyed it as a film. I thought
it's
it-
just like, sit back, enjoy it for what it is kind of thing.
Yeah.
I would say it's similar to 65 in that.
yeah, definitely.
Um,
Just a easy breezy watch, I guess. It's got a good
Just
enough
enjoy
plot.
watching
It's
the
got-
cast do their
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it's got a good plot. The cast really carry it. It's directed well. I couldn't fault it too much.
Who else was in it? Do you remember?
Alice Braga was the like,
Thank you. Yeah.
and obviously William Fichtner is always a great addition to your cast.
Yeah, he's a great character actor.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. He often seems to play the same type of character. Or I feel that way. He's
Pursuing
somebody
someone.
pursuing someone. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Rodriguez, good movie maker as well. So
My number 7 isn't also mid-budget at $25 million. Apparently, it cost. It's written and directed by the same person, Wes Anderson. Co-written by Roman Coppola of the Coppola family, as in Francis Ford Coppola and Sofia Coppola. It's Asteroid City.
yeah,
You're not here.
We're not there. The car exploded. Come get the girls. I have to stay here with Woodrow.
I'm not the chauffeur. I'm the grandfather. Where are you?
Asteroid City, Farm Route 6, mile 75.
Starring Jason Schwartzman. He plays Oggy, and Scarlett Johansson as Midge. Tom Hanks as Stanley. Jeffrey Wright as General Gibson. Bryan Cranston plays a host. Jake Ryan plays Woodrow, the son of Jason Schwartzman. He's kind of like the centre figure as part of the cast of children that have come for a science competition about showing off how smart you are, really. And it's also a film about filmmaking to an extent because it's set within the cast of a TV series while this competition's also going on. So there's some really kind of meta jokes in there. And I thought it was a quite delightful and I'd say unique looking film, but it's not particularly unique because it's Wes Anderson. It is Wes Anderson things.
yeah,
I think all his films every year always stand out when he brings one out because they just look so different. And this is probably the most Wes Anderson movies ever been. You'd like the stiff acting direction that's kind of fake. There's a lot of times it feels with his films where you're watching a stage play. And I don't know, it's an aesthetic that I kind of enjoy seeing. Like he knows he's making something fake and he kind of leans into it and adds that to the sense of humour from it. And I feel that's pretty good. And I think that's what his fans like because
the
that's
stage
what I
play.
like.
Yeah, the stage play thing, it kind of makes you feel like you are sat in an audience watching it.
Yeah,
if that makes
it
sense.
makes you aware that you are part of an audience.
And it kind of makes it feel a bit personal, sort of closeness to it, sort of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, as if they are actually on a stage in front of you,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
It makes it feel like if you really wanted to reach out and touch these people. So it adds a realism to the character while adding a sense of unrealism to the character at the same time. It's really unique how it's in balance and contrast with itself at the same time. And it's a style that just works. If you've seen a Wes Anderson movie, you kind of know what you're in for, but this one's got a bit of a sci-fi twist and a more meta self-referential style to it than his other work, I would say. So
Definitely.
it's worth a watch. It's a great film.
I really enjoyed it as well. Just the massive cast it had.
I didn't even list everyone. Like I've got some big names there, and I didn't even mention
you got like Matt Dillon.
Yeah, Matt Dillon, Friend. What's he called?
Rupert.
Who's in him?
Rupert.
Yeah,
Rupert Friend.
Or Friend. I don't know how it's pronounced.
I might call him Friend.
He's not my friend, so probably Friend.
So you guess he's your enemy.
Definitely. Ever since that Hitman movie. And then obviously there's, oh my God, I can visualise when I cannot think of his name.
Adrian Brody.
Yes, Adrian Brody. He's got a part in there.
Yeah.
There's so many big actors you'll recognise, and they're not even playing big parts. They're using big names as character actors, and the people like Schwartzman, who's more of a character actor, playing the lead, and it's just got that strange. It's not even experimental. They've just like flipped so much about it that you would expect from a big film, and it's great. I love it. Yeah, well, that's my number 7.
That would have been an honourable mention for me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we're on to your 6.
My 6 is Sisu.
This is not about who's the strongest. This is about not giving up. We have a word for that in Finland.
Okay, yay. Right, that was number 8 for me.
Do you want to talk about it? Because you missed a few.
Yeah, okay, thank you. This is a Finnish film made from 6 million euros it cost to make, which I think is pretty damn good. Like, I'd say that's lower than a mid-budget movie.
Yeah.
It's close to mid-budget than a low budget. You're talking millions still.
Yeah.
It's written and directed by Jalmari Hilander, I think it's pronounced.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm going to butcher these names, I'm afraid. It stars, oh no, I can't read my own writing.
Joel Miller.
Yeah, as Atami, I think it's pronounced. Axel Henny as Bruno. He's like the lead protagonist. Antagonist.
On the outside. Depends who you support.
I mean, there's no one supporting Nazis anymore, Thomas. No one. They're a minority group, as well as the protagonist, as Atama. And then it stars Jack Dolan as Wolf. Jack Dolan you might recognise, especially from the UK. He's been in a few TV shows and some low-budget British films. His biggest claim to fame, I would say, is The Boys Season 3. He's in a couple episodes of that, but I can't remember who he plays. But the action in this is great. It's almost like a European John Wick war film, best to describe it. It's a hell of a tale, and I don't want to spoil it, but I will say that the dog lives, so don't worry about it when you see the dog pop up. Just watch it. If you like action films, you'll probably love this. It's fantastic.
That's why it was my number 6, because I love it.
Because they did kill the dog.
Yeah, that's why.
It would have been number 1 otherwise.
Oh, no.
You would have sat there thinking, God, if this dog had died, it'd be number 1.
Well,
I love a big sad film.
Well, the first John Wick is
Yeah.
It didn't go all John Wick. It didn't kill the dog. Like that. But no, I really liked it. It was one of them action films that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, he's basically a lone guy that served his time in the war and wants to keep himself to himself, and then incidents happen almost a bit like Rambo in a way, where he gets dragged into something he didn't want to do.
I never really thought about it like kind of escalating like it does for Rambo in a way.
I haven't until just now, so...
yeah, it's a fair comparison.
There's some, I guess, janky effects work at the end.
It's kind of expected for the budget, though.
Exactly, it's a budget. And I don't really know how often the Finnish are making big, like special effects pieces for films.
No, I don't
either. So it's clearly more of an independent film. Yeah. It is a big production company.
Yeah,
definitely worth a watch for any action fans out there, though, for sure.
Oh, definitely. Like I said, that's why I liked it. That's why it's in my list.
Yeah, it's nothing really unique, yet it feels like it, if you know what I mean.
I think it's because it's something you're not used to seeing, sort of like in direction sort of thing, because it's not like all American.
Yeah, and it's rare you would see almost like a personal war story, but so action driven as well.
Yeah, some great action scenes.
Fantastic ones, absolutely fantastic. Pretty creative as well. And
yeah,
it's one of them that like it starts quite grounded, and I'll warn you now, it doesn't maybe escalate to the absurd as it progresses, but it's so worth it for it. You'll like if you enjoy action escalating into things, and you can just enjoy action.
It kind of ramps up from like the first John Wick to like the latest.
Yeah,
in terms of action, I guess.
Yeah,
and it worked well. It doesn't feel out of place at all.
No, and I will, and I say we've compared it to John Wick. The stunts aren't exactly big martial arty stunts like in John Wick, but there's that sort of choreography where it feels quite brutal and raw.
Yeah,
it's that sort of fighting more than the martial arts stunt work of John Wick.
Yeah.
Was that your number 6?
Yeah, it was my number 6.
Okay, it was my number 8.
Yeah. I have a feeling, I don't know how this list is going so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this might be in your top 5, and I don't know if I'll be disappointed or pleased if it's not.
That's all I'm expecting.
My number 6 is Dumb Money.
Yeah, that is in my top 5.
So I can't really say anything about Dumb Money.
I don't know if you want to, because of where it's placed in my top 5, I don't want to say.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say.
I don't know. I don't know if you want to just do these first 5 and then is that how you're doing it?
I'm thinking of, but obviously I've got 2 of my films still in your top 5.
Yeah, that's what.
So I wondered if maybe you want to deliver your number 5 now.
I'll get that. The reason I was asking because my number 5 is Dumb Money.
Okay, we'll do.
So
yeah,
okay, if you want to talk about it, you can.
Yeah,
it's the next film along.
We'll do Dumb Money, which is my 6 and
my number 5.
Yo, what up, everybody? Roy and Kitty here. I'm gonna pick a stock and talk about why I think it's interesting, and that stock is GameStop.
I love this guy.
Retail traders have hooked into GameStop. I think they think it's a good investment. It looks like there's one guy driving all the buying.
Who is this schmuck?
It's directed by... I really need to learn to handwrite properly or just type my notes because I can't read this.
Craig Gillespie, I think. Gillespie. I'm not sure how to pronounce it.
It's written by... Is that Lauren Schukerbloom?
Yeah, Lauren Schukerbloom.
And Rebecca Angelo?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
based on a book, called Antisocial Network by Ben Mesrich.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't have that name listed.
I did because I've put the book onto a wish list to read through Audible, if you want to call it reading through Audible. I love the cast of this, but I'm a big Paul Dano fan.
And the cast of this was pretty big as well.
It was. It stars Paul Dano as Keith Gill, a.k.a. Roaring Kitty. We've got Shailene Woodley as Caroline Gill, as his very supportive partner. And it looks like they're new parenting as well at the start of this. They've got a little baby he's having to feed while he makes his YouTube videos.
Yeah.
We've got Pete Davidson as Kevin Gill, his irresponsible brother.
He was better in that than I thought he was going to be.
Yeah. It feels like he's just been Pete Davidson at the same time.
No.
Yeah. Vincent D'Onofrio as Steve Cohen, Nick Offerman as Ken Griffin, Seth Rogen as Gabe Plotkin, and they're like your three almost antagonists in a way because they're the big conglomerate firms that Dano's kind of up against. It's been a while since I've seen the film, so it's very hard for me to explain the plot in simple terms because it is a little bit The Social Network, which people say is trying so hard to be, but I don't think it is, and I really like it, and it's got a good sense of humour to it, and it's telling a true story about an underdog hero, which are always great to see.
I think Paul Dano is like the driving force behind this movie.
Yeah,
like,
he's fantastic, and
he's great,
fantastic in everything. I've loved Paul Dano ever since I saw him in Little Miss Sunshine. So
I know he was like the main reason I kind of put this in as my number 5 because just him alone, I thought really just made the movie stand above.
When things aren't going well for him, you feel the weight that he's feeling. When things are going good for him, you're like, yeah, you go, man, you go, you've got this, it's going well. I believe in you now.
And then like Asteroid City as that wide array of cast member, they're in supporting roles.
Vincent D'Onofrio, Seth Rogen, and they're more in supporting roles. America Ferrera.
Yeah,
I mentioned her earlier. She's got because there's some little subplots going on, so you understand how the money's working.
Yeah,
it's all about I forgot what they call it, like crashing the economy kind of with it.
Yeah,
they're trying to say GameStop. It's about the GameStop thing that was happening a few years ago. So it's an easy thing to Google. It's not as complex as it sounds, but to explain it off the top of my head, I should have probably made some more notes.
Yeah, say I didn't make notes.
But like going on about big names, you got Dane DeHaan in this as Brad, and he's just the boss of Anthony Ramos's character.
Yeah,
at GameStop, and it's like such a small part, and he just plays a bit of a douche, and it's.
Yeah,
but it's so small. Like when he showed up, I was like, "Is this Dane DeHaan?"
I was the same. I think that's Dane DeHaan, and now I'm like, but in such a small role, would it be?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
turns out it was.
You might not know who he is. He's in Chronicle with Michael B. Jordan, and
yeah, we mentioned him earlier too.
Yeah, he's in one of my favorite modern horror films as well, with The Cure for Wellness.
Yeah,
I think the worst thing I've seen him in, sadly, is Amazing Spider-Man 2. I say sadly because it's not a particularly great film to think about. But Sebastian Stan was in this as well, for God's sake.
Yeah,
he was another business guy. He built an app that was in conflict with I think he was the creator of the Robin Hood app, which was all about shares and stock market exchange and stuff. Clancy Brown is in this. He was the father to Dano and Davidson's character. So Steve Gill.
So it's a huge cast. Dano is the standout, and he's the main character.
Yeah,
so I guess
that's the lead. You want him to, but it's the fact that he's allowed to stand out amongst some of these names.
You kind of forget about all the other people you're seeing because Dano's so captivating.
Yeah, and they're not in it for very long either.
No,
I would. Say
you do sit there and you're like, "What's that so and so?" I mean, it is.
I would say some of them don't particularly have maybe 5 minutes of screen time, especially Dane DeHaan.
Yeah,
just absolutely fantastic. So I guess that was my number 6, which turns out to be your number 5.
Yeah. So I guess we'll be starting with you.
If you enjoyed listening to this top 10, or half of our top 10, which I hope you have, it's nothing particularly special, I know, but I just thought it gives you, as a listener, an introduction to the type of films that we like. And we haven't gone into much about these films either. It's been brief.
Yeah, they are more recent. So
yeah,
you know what we like from the previous year. You should be able to pick out what we like from this year, hopefully.
Maybe, yeah, but this is our first episode. We're going to be back next week, obviously bringing you the top 5 or top 4 in Thomas's case.
Yeah.
And the next couple episodes, we're going to maybe bring up some films from our early childhood and our teen years, like high school, secondary school, depending where you come from. So you get an idea of the films that we liked to watch growing up and see the sort of shift in our viewing, and maybe you'll be able to align yourself and be like, yeah, I can connect to that. So that's the idea. And hopefully we've got a friend who does a podcast called Sitting Through the Credits. We're going to see if he'll put a film quiz together for us and he'll test our film trivia. I listen to film podcasts and there's not many out there that I'm aware of doing film quizzes. So that might interest you as well. So this is episode 1. Hopefully we'll see you next week for episode 2. Do you want to wrap up, Thomas?
Yep. I'll wrap up again. It's a goodbye from me. It's a goodbye from him, my brother, Brian. Please follow and subscribe, and return next week to hear the rest of this top 10. Thank you.